Imagine this. 1 minute you're safe and cozy in your heated home, and the next you're trapped in a city-wide blackout during the dead of winter. The grid is down, the streets are a frozen wasteland, and your furnace is just a useless pile of metal. How do you survive when the lights go out and everything you rely on falls apart? The scenario when the power goes dark, surviving a citywide blackout in the dead of winter, when the grid fails, streets turn to ice, and your furnace is just a costly decoration, the power grid just buckled under the weight of a brutal polar vortex, leaving your city a frozen ghost town. One moment, you're living life as usual. The next, the lights flicker and die, and your furnace sputters its last breath. No warning, no backup plans, just the chilling silence of everything you took for granted, fading away. Outside, the temperature is plunging faster than your phone's battery, which, by the way, is now also dead. Inside your modern home, once a sanctuary of warmth, it's quickly transforming into a meat locker with a few pieces of furniture scattered around. How do you survive when everything you've relied on stops working in an instant? It's not just the cold that's going to kill you. When the grid fails, the real danger is in the desperate decisions people make to survive. Are you prepared to outsmart the freeze, or will you become another statistic? The pipes, they'll freeze. The food, it'll either rot or become a solid block of ice. And hypothermia? That's not a problem for tomorrow. That's a ticking clock for tonight. Every winter, Blackout's claim lives, not from hunger, not from looters, but from the cold, and from the reckless choices made by people desperate to survive. Think firing up a gas oven indoors or running a generator in the garage until the carbon monoxide turns their brain into mush. But don't panic. We're going to survive this blackout using science, scraps, and a touch of controlled chaos. Here's how. Step 1. Create your survival fortress. You don't heat an entire house when the grid is down. That's a fantasy. You heat one room, one small defensible heat-trapping fortress where you and your people will huddle like survivors in a bunker. Find the smallest room in your house, the one with the least windows, a bathroom, a closet, a windowless bedroom. Doesn't matter if it's pretty. What matters is that it's small. Small rooms trap heat. Large rooms gobble it up. Now seal it. The cold is a predator. It's relentless. It's silent. And it's coming for you. Are you ready to stop it in its tracks? Or will it claim everything you fought to protect? Stuffed towels, blankets, old clothes, duct tape, garbage bags, anything you can find, under the door and around the window frames. You're not trying to make it airtight. You're stopping the cold from creeping in like a predator on the hunt. Every crack is a leak. Every leak is a degree lost. If you have plastic sheeting, or even just trash bags, tape them over the windows. It's ugly. It's makeshift, it's effective. Congratulations, you've just turned your home into a primitive thermal shelter. You're now a cave dweller with a mortgage. Step 2. Layer like your life depends on it. Your body is your only heater, so insulate it like your survival depends on it, because it does. Your body is a furnace, a 98.6-degree biological reactor that burns calories and generates heat, but it's also leaking that heat constantly, through your skin, your head, your hands, your feet. Everywhere. So don't throw on one thick coat. Layer up. Thin, loose layers trap air between them, acting like insulation for your body. Every inch of your body is a battleground against the cold. Are you ready to fight back, or will your warmth slip through your fingers like sand? And air. Air is an insulator. Start with a base layer, long underwear, thermal shirt, whatever you've got. Then add a middle layer, fleece, hoodie, wool sweater. Finish with an outer layer, a jacket, a blanket, or a sleeping bag. Put on a hat. A huge chunk of your body heat escapes through your skull because your brain is a calorie-guzzling furnace, and your head has no fat to keep it warm. Wear gloves. Wear 2 pairs of socks. Wool is king. Cotton? That's a death sentence the moment it gets wet. If you don't have enough clothes, wrap yourself in blankets, towels, curtains, or even old coats from the closet. Look ridiculous. Stay alive. Here's the science. Your body loses heat through 4 main ways. Conduction, heat flowing out when you touch something cold. Convection, cold air moving past you, stealing warmth. Radiation, your heat radiating away into the nothingness. Evaporation, sweat evaporating, pulling away precious heat. Layers stop convection and radiation. Staying dry stops evaporation. Sitting on something insulated, a yoga mat, cardboard, a pile of clothes, stops conduction from the freezing floor. You're not just wearing clothes, you're building a portable microclimate. Now, let's talk heat. The safe kind, the kind that keeps you alive, not the kind that'll kill you in your sleep. Step 3. Safe heat sources. What works and what kills. And let's get this clear right now. Do not use your gas stove or oven to heat your room. I don't care how cold it gets. It's easy to make deadly mistakes when you're desperate to stay warm. But in a blackout, one wrong choice could cost you everything. Are you ready to survive without killing yourself in the process? I don't care if your neighbor is doing it. Gas appliances release carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless gas that silently shuts down your brain and stops your heart, all while you're sitting there thinking, I'm just a little sleepy. The same goes for charcoal grills, propane camp stoves, and especially generators running indoors or in your garage. These aren't heaters, they're death traps. Every single year, blackouts turn into body counts because someone thinks, just for a little while, it won't kill me. It does. So, what can you use to stay warm without turning into a statistic? Option 1. Body heat, huddle up. I'm serious. Gather your family, your pets, your weird uncle, everyone, into that sealed room. Pile under every blanket you've got. Get into sleeping bags. Shared body heat is free, it's completely safe, and it works shockingly well. Humans are walking, talking 98-degree space heaters. Use them. Option 2. Safe indoor heaters. If you prepared ahead of time, you've got an indoor-rated propane or kerosene heater. The key word here is indoor-rated, but don't get too comfortable. You still need ventilation. Crack a window about an inch. Run the heater in short bursts to take the edge off, but never, ever sleep with it on. These heaters are designed for emergency situations, but they still produce combustion gases. Respect them or they'll kill you. Option 3. Hot water bottles. Boil water outside on a camp stove or on a small indoor safe burner. Carefully pour the hot water into bottles, old soda bottles, jeans, anything that can handle the heat. Wrap them in towels so you don't burn yourself. Stick them in your sleeping bag or under your blankets. In a blackout, every decision counts. Are you ready to use everything at your disposal to stay alive? Or will you risk it all with careless mistakes? You've just created an instant portable heat source that will last for hours. Option 4. Candles. A few candles in a small sealed room can raise the temperature by a couple of degrees. It's not much, but in a real survival situation, 2 degrees can make the difference between shivering through the night and actually getting some rest. Use sturdy candles in safe holders and never leave them unattended. A fire during a blackout, that's a death sentence. The science is simple. Heat is energy. Your body generates it. Heaters generate it. Candles generate it. The goal is to trap that energy in one small room and keep it from leaking out. Insulation plus a heat source plus a sealed space equals survival. You won't be warm doing this, but you won't die either. And right now, staying alive is the only bar that matters. Step 4. Prevent frozen pipes and find water. Frozen pipes are a catastrophe you can absolutely prevent. When the heat dies, a countdown begins on your plumbing. When water freezes, it expands. In a blackout, a simple mistake with your pipes can destroy your home long before the cold gets to you. Are you ready to protect your property and keep yourself alive? And when water freezes inside a metal pipe, the pipe doesn't just crack, it explodes. You'll return to a flooded, wrecked house when the power finally comes back on. So you drip, go to every faucet in your house and open it to a slow, steady drip. A thin, pencil-sized stream. Moving water doesn't freeze nearly as fast as still water. This isn't a guarantee, but it buys you precious time. If you have pipes in the basement, garage, or crawl spaces, wrap them. Use towels, old clothes, foam insulation, anything. Even newspaper works. You're just trying to slow down the cold, not stop it completely. Now let's talk about drinking water. Your hot water heater holds 40 to 60 gallons of perfectly drinkable water. That's your emergency reserve. To get it, turn off the power or gas to the heater. Let it cool down. Then open the drain valve at the bottom. Boom. Gallons of clean water. You should also have water stored. at least a gallon per person per day. If you don't, the moment the power goes out, fill your bathtub, sinks, every pot and bucket you can find. City water pressure can fail fast. Don't wait. When survival's on the line, your actions make all the difference. Every choice counts, from water to food to staying warm. Are you ready to outlast the cold or risk losing everything? And if you run out of water and need to melt snow, do it outside on a camp stove. Only bring it inside after it's melted. Melting snow indoors adds a ton of moisture to the air, which makes the cold feel even worse and leads to condensation and mold. The science: water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Moving it and insulating your pipes slows the freezing process. And remember, your body needs water to generate its own heat. Dehydration literally makes you colder. This isn't about comfort, it's about staying alive. Heat, water. If you handle these two things right, you'll walk out of this just fine. That's how you win. Step 5. Food strategy for a dead fridge. Now, Step 5. Food. The mantra here is simple: eat like a scavenger. Think like a strategist. Your fridge is dying. Your freezer's dying. But listen up. They're not dead yet. This is a race against time. A full freezer gives you about 48 hours. If you keep that door shut, half full, you've got 24 hours tops. Your fridge? It's just a glorified cooler now. Maybe a day if you're lucky. So you prioritize. You hit the fridge first. Leftovers, milk, anything that spoils fast. That's round 1. Then move to the freezer. Here's a pro move. If it's below freezing outside, you just recruited a new appliance. In a blackout, everything you do counts. Every choice, every move. Are you prepared to make the right decisions when the cold sets in and darkness threatens your safety? Move your frozen food into a cooler or a secure box. Congratulations. Your backyard is now a walk-in freezer. Just make sure no animals can get to it. Once you've worked through that, it's time to tackle the non-perishables. This is your long-haul supply. Canned food, pasta, rice, peanut butter, protein bars, anything that can sit on a shelf without complaining. If you need to cook, take it outside. Use a camp stove, or if you have an indoor safe burner, crack a window for ventilation. Do not turn on your gas stove to heat the house or for long cooking sessions. That's how you get a one-way ticket to carbon monoxide poisoning. Here's the science: your body is a furnace. In the cold, it burns more calories just to keep you from becoming an ice sculpture. So you need to eat more. High-calorie, high-fat foods are your best friends. Nuts, chocolate, peanut butter. These are dense fuel for your internal engine. Now, Step 6. Light. Because darkness is dangerous. Power's out, lights are out, and stumbling around in pitch-black darkness is how you break an ankle or knock over a candle, watching your whole survival plan go up in smoke. So you light it up. Flashlights, headlamps, battery-powered lanterns, even glow sticks. Use them wisely to make your batteries last longer. Here's a strategy. Use candles when you're sitting still and save the flashlights for when you're on the move. When you're desperate and the last of your resources are running out, are you ready to think outside the box and keep going? But what if you're desperate? You've got no batteries left and only one candle. Look in your kitchen cabinet. You can make a lamp. Find a small glass jar or a metal can. Fill it halfway with cooking oil. Any kind will do. Now find a wick, a strip of an old cotton t-shirt, maybe even a shoelace. Twist it tight. Soak it in the oil, leaving about an inch sticking out. Light it. Congratulations. You now have a lamp that will burn for hours. It's primitive science. The oil is the fuel. The wick uses capillary action. It literally drinks the oil up to the flame, feeding it. It's ancient technology, and it works. Step 7. Communication and community. Because isolation kills hope faster than the cold. Your phone is now a paperweight. The cell towers are down. The internet is a distant memory. You're cut off. If you prepped, you're reaching for your hand crank emergency radio right now. You're tuning into local stations, getting updates on the blackout, and finding out where warming shelters are. If you didn't prep, you're in full conservation mode. Your phone is for emergencies only. Turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, kill all the apps. Squeeze every last minute out of that battery. When the world goes dark and everything you rely on fails, the real test begins. Are you ready to not just survive, but to thrive in the chaos? Your car charger can give you a quick boost, but only run the car in short bursts, and never, ever in a closed garage. But the most important communication tool you have isn't electronic. It's your own 2 feet. Go check on your neighbors, knock on doors, especially the elderly or people with disabilities. Share what you have. Share information. In a blackout, your community is your lifeline. Survival is a team sport, and then it happens. A flicker. The low hum of the grid returning. The furnace roars back to life. You made it. That sealed room, the layers of clothes, the dripping faucets, the scavenged food. It all worked. You didn't panic. You didn't poison yourself. You didn't freeze. You stared down a citywide blackout in the dead of winter and won, using nothing but scraps, science, and a solid plan. There was no high-tech bunker, no prepper fantasy. It was just you, and the knowledge that when the systems we rely on die, you don't have to. You survived, and if the furnace doesn't come back on, you know what to do. You have the skills now. You have the plan. Welcome to the new world where survival isn't about fighting zombies. It's about fighting the cold and winning.